I'm going to talk for only 20 minutes, maybe even shorter since we are way behind schedule. I'm going to talk a little bit about what kind of education. My topic is
the program or the other one?
no, the other one. The PowerPoint.
PowerPoint. Okay.
Now you need to use the microphone, please.
Okay. I'm supposed to talk about what kind of activities NJ Alpha has done related to high school education and education in general in New Jersey. So, where's the remote control? Okay, you can go away. Where do I point this to the computer, right?
No, the screen.
The screen? That's a wrong button. I'm going to skip the brief history of NJ Alpha. I just talk about examples of some of our past NJ Alpha programs. I'm not going to go over that very much. I have actually a handout. I only have 10 copies. After the talk, I'll leave it there for those who are interested. You can pick up a copy of that. Basically, what we prepare is a list of programs that we can offer to the schools. So we have offered that to the schools. It's like a Chinese menu. You can select different items from an informed specialized programs. What happened? Yeah, I pushed the wrong button.
No. This is where you want to start.
Okay. One of the major activities is a peace and reconciliation issue study tool, which has been talked about yesterday. I just want to briefly mention that in the past, NJ Alpha has always piggybacked the efforts done by Toronto Alpha, British Columbia Alpha, GA, and we joined their tools. But starting next year, we'll be the organizer of that tool. And we hope all these other organizations will also send people to join this tool, because NJ Alpha will not be able to provide enough people to handle a tool, because we want to have at least 15 people before we want to sponsor such a tool. And NJ Alpha will probably send 6 people. What happened? I thought I went through that already. I'm going back. It's okay. Okay. So in tool 15, the study tool is going to be on July 9th to July 23rd. 15 days, we'll visit Shanghai. Actually, we're going to visit Jiangsu too to talk to our partner on the 10,000 Cries for Justice, one of our partners, to Harbin, Shanghai, Jiangsu, Nanjing, Harbin, Beijing, and then Seoul. So 15 days, we're going to, and if anybody, including people, if you or somebody from your organization would like to join, you're welcome to. And many of our teachers, after they come back, they have prepared curriculum guides. And we have worked together with the New Jersey Commission on Holocaust Education, which is an official organization under the New Jersey Department of Education. So when we work together with these curriculum guides, and after it's done, the New Jersey Commission on Holocaust Education send these curriculum guides to all the high schools in New Jersey, about 350. And that, if it's sent out by NJ Alpha, people will think this is Chinese propaganda. They will ignore it. If it's sent out by the New Jersey Commission on Holocaust Education, that's a different story. Okay. So these are some of the activities besides career guide, case study tour, talks, films, photo exhibits, and panel discussion. So I'm going to, because of time, I'm going to go over. Okay. One of the things that we're trying to do right now is to establish a New York chapter of Alpha. New York is the financial capital, business capital, maybe sometimes political capital, and so on, of the United States. And it's very unfortunate there's actually no chapter in New York. So we have taken some steps to do that. And the first event by the New York chapter, even though we don't have an official New York Alpha organization yet, will be a joint effort that we're going to co-sponsor with the Holocaust Resource Center and Archives at Queensborough College in Queens, in New York, on December 11th. And what we're going to show is Tamaki Masuoka's film, Torn Memories of Nanjing. And hopefully, during the next few months, year or so, we can actually establish a New York chapter. It's not so easy. We have a lot of people who are willing to help, but we don't have anybody who's willing to take the lead. The curriculum guide, I want to say a couple of things about it. Even though we have prepared 2 versions of curriculum guides, they are very massive. But it's good, it's very massive, but it's also not good because it's too massive. Okay, it's 265 pages. So if you're a teacher, you are not preparing a whole semester course on this because they don't have enough time. They may prepare, you're lucky, you may prepare 1 week. They probably prepare only 2 hours of lectures. And they're not going to spend that much time to look through a 265-page curriculum guide to prepare the lesson plan. So one of the things that we want to do is actually a simplified version of the curriculum guide, maybe 75 pages. Even 75 pages is not so easy, but 75 pages. Another thing is that our curriculum guides right now are all targeted for high school. We want to have a middle school version, a sanitized middle school version. And actually, one of the potential candidates who will go on the tour next year is very much interested in this. And another thing that actually, we talked about this actually 5 years ago with Pete Stanek and with Jean Chan, and that is, we want to, there's a lot of Chinese schools in the United States and Canada, and we want sometimes to teach history and culture as part of the Chinese school. We want to have a bilingual, simple version, maybe 25 pages, about World War II history in China, and hopefully we can talk to some of the Chinese schools and convince them to incorporate part of this into their curriculum. And actually 5 years ago, I talked with Jean Chan, and she was willing to work together with her, and I wasn't planning to work on it myself, but then since she volunteered, so I said, I'll work with you. But it turns out that I really do not have time to work on it, so I dropped out. So it has not been done. So if anybody who wants to work on this, you can work together with Jean Chan. Okay. New Jersey is one of the very few states, maybe 2 or 3 states in the whole United States, which has a state mandate, a state law, which requires high school to teach Holocaust studies. And later on, they generalize it to Holocaust and genocide studies. Okay. So that's how things like Nanjing Massacre and so on, other atrocities, genocide, Balfour and so on, included under this mandate. But so far, most of the coverage is on the Holocaust. And that's why we were able to work together with the New Jersey Commission on Holocaust Education. Now, unlike Toronto, they have a very large school district which covers all Toronto. New Jersey has many, many, many school districts. So it's very difficult for us to approach school districts and have a large broad geographic coverage. So we don't have that much resources, we don't have that much time and so on. So what we plan to do is to select maybe 1, 2, or 3 school districts with a large Asian population and go talk to the Board of Education members and see if we can convince them to put more focus on this area of history. And for example, the city of Edison in New Jersey, in central New Jersey, is 40% of its high school students are Asian. In the town of Homedale, where David was the mayor, 20% of its high school students are Asian. In the town of Marlborough, very close to Homedale, 20% of its high school students are Asians. So those are probably the target approach. These are just the plans, we haven't done it yet. And also, New Jersey Commission on Holocaust Education is going to send out another letter reminding them, the schools, that there's this state law mandate. They have to cover Holocaust and genocide. But of course, they may just cover Holocaust and not other genocides. Okay? And also remind them that our curriculum guide is actually available online in the New Jersey Commission on Holocaust Education website. What are the challenges facing us? We have very few chapters. You look at very few people. There aren't that many alpha chapters, GA chapters. Shortage of active members, especially people who can take the lead, the initiative, and run with the projects. We have shortage of funds. I wish I can be as successful as Dr. Wong. I mean, he talks about 45 million. I talk about $4,500. For example, just to fund our study tour, we will need on an annual basis $20,000 because we provide a fellowship at least New Jersey Alpha. Other chapters do it differently. We provide fellowship which cover all the domestic expenses. Domestic meaning in China and Korea. So that's around $3,000 per person. So if you multiply by 6, that's $18,000. So just to cover the study tour costs about $20. Of course, we have other expenses. So every year we have to, so let's say donations of $20,000. So far, we have been unsuccessful, $0 from corporations. We are opposed to corporations in the United States, in China, in Hong Kong, and so on. We have done $0. So all the contributions we have are all from individuals. Our largest donation today is $15,000. So that covers a fellowship for one person for 5 years. And if they contribute $3,000, then you can name the fellowship after whatever you want to name it. Indifference to Chinese Americans. This is probably something we can learn from the Korean Americans. The Korean Americans are actually more committed and more united than the Chinese Americans. Indifference to school boards and large number of school boards in New Jersey, which I mentioned earlier. And also related to what I said yesterday, because of the political atmosphere in the United States is very much antagonistic toward China and Chinese, so it even makes it much more difficult to try to get this type of things into the curriculum. Yeah. I already mentioned this. And I already mentioned this atmosphere is very poisonous, and it's going to make it very difficult if it's not changed for our children and our grandchildren. Countermeasure. These are actually related to my talk yesterday. Our primary audience, if you look around this room, is 99% Chinese Americans. That should not be our primary audience. Our primary audience is the American public and the Canadian public. Because if you relate this, the preserving the history of Sino-Japanese War, to the whole geopolitical world situation, and it's very much related, and you really got to influence the American public and the American government. As I mentioned yesterday, right now a lot of people get the information from Wikipedia, other online resources, and Wikipedia is an open. Anybody can contribute articles, whether they accept it or not. That's a different issue. And what's the process of submitting and accepting articles, and how do they revise it, and so on. We don't quite know. And I think we should set up a task force, not only to write articles among ourselves, our friends, and so on, but also make it well known what this process is, and then we can help them so that people from all over the world can write articles and contribute to this effort. And then we are sort of the facilitator. And then this can really grow if we do that. And then through such media, such information, then the world can gain tremendous amount that this can expand exponentially, the information flow. And we really need to form alliances, collaboration with various kinds of bodies. And we have done that, although we have done that with collaboration with many bodies, sometimes successful, sometimes not so successful, sometimes short term, sometimes maybe slightly longer term. With American, Canadian organizations, and one of the ones I mentioned yesterday, we have a New Jersey World War II book club. And their audience is mostly Caucasian Americans. And so they can help us to approach those people sometimes better than we can. And the president and founder of that's actually one of our study tour participants in 2014. The Korean American organization, we actually had some collaboration with them 2 years ago in our 75th anniversary of the 19 massacre. But unfortunately, the speaker who was going to come became sick that day. And so he was not able to come. And with righteous Japanese activists, we have already done some of that, and many people in this room have done a lot more. And in the political systems, reach out into having organizations. I hope people like George Koo and other people who are in the Committee of 100, because Committee of 100, how should I say it diplomatically? I'm not going to say it. But they are clout. Relatively speaking to us, they have clout. They have contacts. They have money. So we should really make more use of it. And we really got to, my personal opinion, not everybody in this room agrees, the United States complicity in Asia is really one of the major obstacles to what we're trying to do. And then very often that people, other people, especially Chinese Americans, may hesitate to get involved in this and criticize. But they don't understand it's actually not only the right thing to do, it's actually the patriotic thing to do as Chinese Americans.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, as I said yesterday, that for Caucasian Americans, this may be a evolving process. Because when you get into the complicity of the United States government, you have to criticize it. At first, they may not want to do that. At first, they sympathize with all these atrocities, and they don't want it to be swept under the rug, so they will join in that effort. But as I say, learn more and more, they understand why certain things happen, why certain things do not happen, and many of these reasons are actually related to U.S. government's actions. And then they may start taking other steps. That's why it's really a great loss for this standard to be gone. And then support initiative to honor Anson Bergen, and that leads to the next talk. David Chai is going to talk about Anson Bergen. I think that's what my put more effort on fundraising. Okay, that's yes.
Can you describe more detail about how you convincing the school board? And how you approach?
I haven't done any of that yet. That's what we plan to do.
Oh, I thought the New Jersey already have incorporate the teaching material.
Yeah, but that's not the school board. That's the New Jersey Commission on Holocaust Education, which is an agency under the New Jersey Department of Education. And that's because New Jersey has a state mandate, state law, which schools have to cover Holocaust
Right.
and then the generalization to genocide studies.
Okay.
Okay.
So how you approach the teacher?
Oh, then
And then training the teacher.
right. So through our own contacts, especially through recommendations from New Jersey Commission on Holocaust Education, they have a lot of contacts with the school teachers. So they will say, why don't you look into the NJ Alpha Study Tool program? It may be very valuable to you. Okay, so they apply. And then we look at their application, then we select the ones to send to. And then when they come back, I'm not going to show it, but they write very, very impressive evaluations of the tool. They said this is really eye-opening. Even though I'm a world history teacher, I basically knew nothing about this. And sometimes they may know a little bit. Many of them don't know anything about this. And now it's changed their life completely. And so they start looking at it.
Actually, this is the extension of all the teachers tour. Started with Vancouver, then Toronto, then followed by San Francisco.
Right.
And then you usually join. The teachers are salesmen. They are making entries into the textbook, and they're producing teaching material and video tapes. So the teachers themselves are basically on the front line. So
Right.
they were the one pushing all the school districts.
They wrote the curriculum guide, and they wrote some lesson plans. All our chapters have done something like that. But now we're going to approach an individual school board, and because right now just individual history teachers or other teachers, English teachers also. Okay. By the way, I don't want to bring this back because it's very heavy. So if anyone wants a copy of this curriculum guide, you're welcome to have it. Okay. And this is online also for the New Jersey Commission on Holocaust Education. And They also wrote another, which I will not give it to you, a shorter version, a thinner document called Chinese and Western Rescuers of the 19th International Safety Zone. Okay.
Both are downloadable from BC Alpha's website. So if you want to bring it, good.
This is downloadable?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
good.
yes, it's in our website. So go to the resource part on the
Okay.
Alpha's website and you can get it.
And for grammar school or middle school, sometimes or for English courses, what are some of the junior reference reading books for younger children? This is a book that Eugene Wei have to translate, Escape from Hanyang. Okay, so I don't think this is available once. You have to buy it from Amazon.com. But this, I hope you can take it so I don't have to carry it back home. And if you want a copy, just let me know. I'll send you a copy. But you can download it from the website. Okay? So that's all.
Thank you, thank you.
And I'll leave 10 copies of that program, which is our manual for schools to make use of.
Let's not take a break. We welcome David to come back for another subject. David, please. Thank you.